So up on the west coast of Canada, there's a fishing charter place, flies you in via waterplane, and you live on an old BC ferry converted into a floating hotel. Oh, yeah. I love like that. That's the kind of stuff that, like, to me sounds really fun. But I know I can't convince my friends to do this stuff. They do not want to. I can convince them to go maybe glamping if I show them a place we can go to that has, like, full facilities and running water and electricity and a normal toilet. Maybe they would go to something. But if I'm like, let's go sleep on the ground, bring a hammock so the animals don't touch you at night, you know, like, they're not gonna go with me. They're just not gonna go with me if I'm like, we'll sleep in hammocks so the spiders don't crawl up from the ground. They're not gonna do it, man. That's okay. But sometimes I wish just like one of them wanted to do it. But Tara did want to do something, not like that. She wanted to do something else that was like very physically demanding and did require being outdoors a lot. And I was like, do you? So I might make her do this thing with me at some point, but we'll see. But it's not so much about camping. So we'll see what happens. I might be able to get some of them to go hiking if it's like a day hike and they don't have to sleep over anywhere. That's kind of what I wanted to get some of them to do. Like, but do you think they'd be willing to hike with me where I'm like making them carry a pack of stuff? If I'm like, you got the cooler pack, you got meat to carry, and then I'm like, you got the charcoal, you got to carry the charcoal, here's a bag of it, you know, like, do you think they'll hike with like gear, or will they get upset and be like, I just wanted to bring an Nalgene and go? We'll see. Maybe I can drag some people out. Would you need it for a single day hike? Well, the point would be I want to hike somewhere nice, and then we sit down and we eat a bunch of food, and then we hike back. That's what I want to do. But do you think they'd get up at 6 a.m.? I don't know. VTubers aren't known for being fit. Yeah, but like, I'm also like, I'm like dying and recovering from being dying, you know? But I'm still willing to go out and like walk until my legs are gelatinous. It doesn't have to be the most physically demanding thing ever. And like, even if you feel like you're dying, you can make it. You hike and you feel like your legs start to feel like they don't want to move. You start to feel like you're just dragging concrete shoes around, right? And then at some point, your brain shuts off because you realize you're out in the middle of nowhere and you have nowhere to go if you don't just move. And then you get this second wind and you go crazy on it, okay? And I think a lot of people just haven't experienced that second wind. They also like don't eat and drink what they should while they're going. So I think they just need to experience that. I think people usually stop before that. Yeah, I think if you've been an athlete doing some sort of sport where you have to be outside like all day, like a really long time period kind of sport, when you're competing, you understand it, you get it, but they just gotta do it, man. What is it called when you're climbing? Second, third man syndrome? Yeah, I don't remember what that's called, but it's like when you feel separate from your body, like you're aware, you're very aware in your mind of what's going on, and you're just pushing your body to go, and you get a little numbness. You start to like start to feel like you are you, but you're not you. Yeah, there's a whole thing. I don't remember what they call that, but it's cool. It's cool. I used to get that when doing cross country. Second wind could feel so nice. Yeah, I think cross country is a good example of a sport where like you know that feeling. I think rowing, any sort of long distance rowing is like that too. Absolutely. You could call it a fugue state if you want. There are a lot of words for the same thing depending on what you're doing, right? So many people don't realize you need to pack the 4 liters of water for yourself even if you don't drink that much usually. Oh yeah. I always tell people, I'm like, you can bring a bottle of water, but you should consider getting a Camelback, right? And just having like the bladder, right? And that's just filled with water. You should consider that because it's easy to carry. It's a little flatter in the way it sticks to you. Whether you have the full backpack from them or not, just bringing like the bladder instead of like a jug, it's easier to carry. And I always would tell people to bring that, and they'd be like, what size should I get? The little baby bitch size? And they'd like show, and I'm like, no, you need like the whole thing. I don't know. It's very worth it. Some trail mix and other fuel helps a ton. I hate trail mix, man. It's okay. Like they're not wrong. When I say I hate it, I mean like people will go hiking and they'll be like, bring trail mix. If you bring a lot of other stuff, it's fine. But if you just bring a giant thing of trail mix and you're like, this is going to be good, it's not. And I say I hate it because like I've experienced several times being out on a trail and someone is sitting on the side of the trail like, looking like they're dying. And you're like, oh, you good? And they're like, yeah, I got trail mix. And I'm like, what else you got? And they're like, water trail mix. And I'm like, okay, well, well, we are missing some things here, you know, but there are a lot of people that will go hiking and they bring trail mix and they're like, I got the fats from the nuts and I got a little sugar from the like little sugary things in here, so it's gonna keep me going. It's body fuel. And I'm like, brother, you're missing so much. You're missing so much. You gotta bring other stuff too. It's good bringing nuts, yes, really, really good, but you need a lot of other stuff. And there's so many times I've like ran past people and they're like dying and they're like, don't worry, I have trail mix. Like, you need more, man. Dried mangoes, your pick me up. Oh yeah, a lot of dried fruits and things help, but yeah, jerky. You need jerky and you need carbs. You do need carbs. Some people hate it, but hardtack is the greatest thing you can bring because it's really light. So if you can bring hardtack, do it. I think people don't like eating hardtack though, but it's great. Isn't trail mix just like psyop? There's some truth to some of the things in there, like any sort of like if you bring a bunch of cashews or some shit, right? And you're going in there and you're like, I need fats, I need oils from this. Yeah, that's good. I knew this dude, oh man, this guy was crazy. He would be out on the trail and he'd be like, you don't need to eat cashews or almonds or any type of nut to get your oils. Just bring a tablespoon of olive oil and eat it. And this dude would bring all of his snacks, and one of them, he'd had this little dime bag. Unironically, this dude would have a dime bag with oil in it, and he'd take a little something every now and then, like a tiny sip of the olive oil in between eating other snacks. And the thing is, he like wasn't wrong, but that's crazy. That's crazy. He's like, why do you need oily foods when you could just have a little packet of oil and then other good foods for you? Sounds so nasty. Okay, hold on. The problem wasn't that he was eating straight oil, because I'm gonna be so real with you. Olive oil is good, and I throw that shit on everything, and I'm chill with just having a little olive oil. Okay. The problem is bringing it in the dime bag instead of like other stuff to the trail. Like, that's crazy. You know, that was like, I don't know. The dime bag was hilarious though, because he'd take it out and he'd like open the little Ziploc top just like on one side, and he like, you know, like just a little bit of it. He'd like do it bit by bit. That was so funny. At least soak it into some bread. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, you need to bring some carbs or something. So like, I don't know. It was a little weird. What if it leaks from the dime bag? That's what I'm saying.